So, as you guys are aware, I like to stay on top of what's happening in the gaming industry regarding the actual studios, the companies, the layoffs, and everything under the sun. And Meta is no different. I know you guys are aware, but some of you may not be. Meta has a gaming sector that focuses on nothing but virtual reality, VR stuff, hardware, some games, all of that nonsense. And it has been bleeding money. It is safe to say that Meta, from VR aspect, is probably one of the most useless, overall, just completely ridiculous companies that are just bleeding money left and right. And these kind of companies have been subsidized in the past by government grants and money, and that is obviously drying up this year, which is why all of these studios are suddenly suffering to find money in order to fund their projects. Meta is no different, and now Meta has, unfortunately for them, laid off over 100 employees from Reality Labs. So let's get into this article, guys, from Game Developer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, before you guys question whether or not this was worth happening or not, I want you to look at how much money they've actually been losing. It is a report that they have lost over 47.5, not million, not million, billions of dollars over the past 3 years, and is expected to continue to bleed cash. That's how much money Reality Labs has lost. They have lost $47.5 billion over not 10 years, 20 years, over 3 years. You gotta be kidding me. That is an insane amount of money to lose over a development cycle for hardware, games, or whatever. It doesn't matter. And then you wonder why, like 100 people. Yeah, they fired even more than that. This is like the second or third round of layoffs for Meta. It is pretty bad what's happening out there. We guys remember, we have this list here that we've been keeping of game developers that have been fired over the last year alone, and we have 24, 23, and 2022 as well. And Meta is on this list as the latest entry for Reality Labs of 100 people fired from the VR department. So it's pretty damn ugly what's happening out there. But let's continue and find out what exactly is going on. So the Embattled business unit houses Meta's wearable hardware and software business, formerly known as Oculus, and lost over $17.7 billion during just the last fiscal year alone. Bloomberg is reporting that over 100 workers have been laid off across the division. That number comes from a source familiar with the situation. So again, $17.7 billion, guys. Where is this money coming from? Where is this money sincerely coming from? You gotta you gotta understand, $17.70 billion in almost just 1 year alone is an absolutely disgusting number. That is not millions, that is billions. That is billions of dollars gone. And most of it, I guarantee, came from some sort of subsidiary, or subsidization, I'm sorry, like something along the lines of government money has absolutely been subsidizing this company. There's no doubt about it. Bloomberg is reporting that over 100 workers have been laid off. Those impacted include staff working on a MetaQuest fitness application called Supernatural. We're deeply saddened to share that these changes have resulted in the loss of some of our incredibly talented team members, reads a Facebook post from the Supernatural team. Meta neglected to comment on the exact scope of the layoffs, but confirmed downsizing is in fact taking place. Some teams within Oculus Studios are undergoing shifts in structure and roles that have impacted team size. Meta spokesperson Tracy Clayton told Bloomberg, these changes are meant to help the studios work more efficiently on future mixed reality experiences for our growing audience, while still delivering great content for people today. Bro, how can you say that your audience is growing and you are losing almost $20 billion a year? How can you say that? Like, what the fuck? This is amazing to me that these studios will actually say something like this and get away with it. The fact that they could put a PR spin on this and say, yeah, we have a growing audience. How much money did you lose? That doesn't matter. We have a growing audience. Like, come on, what are you talking about? How is this even possible? Clayton added that Meta remains committed to investing in mixed reality experiences, including fitness and games. The Verge first reported on the cuts, which arrived around 6 months after Meta CFO Susan Lee pondered whether Reality Labs could perhaps be more efficient with the division burning through cash hand over fist. Meta has plenty of pedigree when it comes to layoffs. In January, the company made 5% of its workforce redundant to move out low performers faster. Prior to that, it laid off 21,000 employees across 2022 and 2023. So, like I said earlier in the video, this is not the first time Meta has laid off people. Meta has been laying off people left and right. It's just every single, like, it's damn near every couple of months you find out that a couple of hundred employees got laid off, and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. There's no way that you could burn through almost $20 billion in a year and not experience layoffs. There's no way. There's like absolutely no way. It doesn't matter how much subsidization you might have. It might try to, soften the blow a little bit, but ultimately there is no way you're not having layoffs with that much money lost. And Meta is losing money left and right. I don't know of many people that use these kind of products. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure there are people that love what Meta is doing in terms of VR and their hardware and even their software. I'm sure they're out there. But me personally, I don't know of many people that actually utilize it, if anybody at all. I'm trying to think in the back of my mind, do I know anybody? But I ultimately do not. Meta has just been completely irrelevant in the gaming scene since its inception. I don't know of anybody that's been really trying to do much with it. Aside from the initial fanboying over Oculus, I really don't know of anybody that has used Meta in the long term. So it's unfortunate, but it looks like Meta is going to continue to bleed money. I don't see how they're suddenly going to be profitable. I don't see what's going to happen that's going to magically change the fact that they're burning almost $20 billion in a year. I don't see anything changing, to be honest with you. Meta is probably going to continue to bleed money until eventually they are completely gone. If we were to look through this list, I'm sure we would find Meta at some point in time again and again and again and again. And it's unfortunate, especially in 2024. Meta got cooked in 2024. It's sad, but it's true. This company 100% has been losing way too much. Look at this. Meta over here. Ready at Dawn, a subsidiary of Meta, fired an unknown amount of developers because they don't want to tell you exactly how much. They always try to keep it as secret as possible because it works in their best interest if they are vague over how many people actually got fired from this company, because they know what the optics look like, and the optics aren't very good. Whenever you see people losing this many developers, you might as well just kiss your ass goodbye at this point, because it's not going to look very good. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, Meta is just another studio that is suffering through a lot of layoffs this year. It's another studio that is just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse as time goes on. And I think it's safe to say that from the VR standpoint, that Meta really, even though they're desperately trying to make it a thing, and they're trying to be a player, and they're trying to absolutely, be the leading charge in VR technology, I think it's safe to say that they have their work cut out for them in terms of trying to recover. And I think it's only a matter of time before we hear about the eventual closure or the eventual shutdown of Meta's VR department, and maybe their overall gaming sector as a whole. And maybe they'll just focus on using VR for other utilities. But as of right now, in terms of gaming, I think they're cooked. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.